tell us where you want to be in a year, 2 years and 5 years. And we would encourage people, by the way, to tell us that they don't want to be with us. Good morning, guys. Today, in fact this whole week, we have a busy week of our yearly catch-ups. So, well, call them appraisals if you wish, but we don't call them that at Optics. We call them yearly catch-ups. So I'm going to try and talk to you a little bit about what we do, how we do it, so that you can glean some tips from that, because they are a very, very important part of the year for us and our staff as well. Just so everyone knows kind of where they're going, what they're doing, why they're doing it, and try and get everyone on the same page. So we picked a hotel actually locally to the office, a place called Devon Hotel, which you might have seen actually in this vlog before, this place, to run these catch-ups, just because we kind of like to get out of the office, get people sort of away from their work and thinking less about that and more about what we're trying to get out of them that day, really. So my office for the next week is this place, and looking forward to chatting to each of the guys and seeing what's what and how we can help them achieve their goals. Appraisal kind of gives that this, I don't know, it's got sort of fairly negative connotations. It's like, oh, it's appraisals again. And actually for us, we want this to be a positive experience where we can spend the time talking to our guys about moving the business forward and their personal goals and all sorts of other things. So we call it yearly catch-ups, and I'd encourage you to do something similar. Appraisals, negative connotation in lots of businesses, so just have a think about that anyway. Up to you what you do. But I thought, as we were doing appraisals, and I run 4 today, so I've got a week's worth of appraisals this week, I thought what I would do is explain the template that we use, which we've put together over many years now and tweaked and improved each year, given feedback from both our guys and what we felt as well on the time. So I send out a week or two before the catch-ups, I send out something called a 7-question wonder, which are 7 questions, funnily enough, that we've kind of come up with over the years, which really help us to get a better feeling for where our guys are and where they want to go. So those are, number 1, talk to us about major achievements, and I'm paraphrasing slightly here, but talk to us about major achievements that you've had in the last year, or what you perceive to be major achievements. Number 2 is a kind of 3-parter, but tell us where you want to be in a year, 2 years and 5 years. And we would encourage people, by the way, to tell us that they don't want to be with us. And, you know, if they don't want to be with us, that's fine, we'll support them. But, you know, we're just as open to that as we are to, in 5 years' time, I want to be running this business. Great. Okay, let's talk about it. So that's part 1 and part 2. Sorry, question 1, question 2. Question 3 is talking to us about their perceived strengths. So how do they perceive themselves? That leads into areas for improvement. No, I don't say weaknesses, I say areas for improvement. Very important to keep that on a positive vibe. Then we talk about how they can add value, or how they're going to add value to the business over the next year. And then we're quite keen to encourage a bit about personal goals as well. So I kind of get letting us into a little bit into their lives, and you know what makes them tick, and there's a really important reason for that. It helps us to bond with them, but also it helps us to spot opportunities where we might be able to actually help them. So, you know, if someone wants to buy a house for the first time, maybe we can put them in touch with a mortgage advisor. If they're looking to improve their health, then we might be able to help them find a personal trainer. You know, they're little things, but they all add up, and they're quite important to us to get to know people in a bit more detail. Separately to all of these as well, I try to get people thinking about one thing that they're going to stop doing and one thing that they're going to start doing over that next 12-month period. And really that focuses their mind down on one particular aspect, allows us to put it into writing, and then obviously feed that back to them so that they can keep an eye on it. So here are some other things other than the 7-question wonder. I should explain. So the 7-question wonder gets sent out to them a week or two before the catch-ups. They have to send that back to us in order that we can have time to look through it, and then we review that and we use that as a backdrop for the catch-ups. The catch-ups are an hour and a half each, so we try not to let them go too long. We've done 2 hours, we've done 2.5 hours. You know, that's a long time for a catch-up, especially if you're doing multiple ones. Off the back of that, we make notes. So as the discussion flows, we come up with an action plan, and that action plan for every single individual is then emailed back to them at the end of this period. So we wait for everyone to get done, then we email all of those action plans out. It's then their responsibility to ensure that action plan is delivered upon, and we set further catch-ups in the calendar at 3, 6 month, 9 month periods, onto obviously next year. So that's probably about it. So I'm just looking at my notes here as to what we did today. Yeah, I think that's probably about it. Obviously there's room for any other business and the like, but really we're trying to get a really good feeling for where our guys are at the moment, if they're happy, you know, if there's issues, if any challenges that they're trying to deal with, both personally and as a business, and then we can take that in and improve the business overall. Ultimately, this business is only as good as the people within it. So this is a very, very important time of the year for us. We hope that it's just as important for our guys. I'm sure it is. And we will learn every single time from this immense amounts about both our people and the business as a whole. And we'll make some really good changes to the business off the back of this, I know it. So I hope that's useful. I thought it's relevant. Not sure what sort of codswallop you're going to get out of me over the next week, because I'm going to be absolutely shattered after running these, but it's all good stuff. So until then, I'll see you next time.